What I make you? Good? You're not good. You just not.
Man, you already know what it is. Jay Williams, let's live life. And we're back. Back in the building, man. We're going to get into it in a minute. I'm going to sit here and let everybody pile into tonight's live before we get into this chop it up session. Answer all these questions that have been asked and just vibe with the ones that matter the most. The ones that make this possible, man. You guys. I used to tell y'all, and I'll still stand by this, right? There would be no YouTubers if it wasn't like for the viewers. You guys. Y'all make all this possible. Never forget that. In the back, I'm gonna need your comments. Southside Frog in the house, Chamberlain, Sean Dean, AF, Dustin Bowers, Tim Smith. If I miss anybody, I'm sorry. True Blue, Adam Clevenger, my guy Big G, Okie, Garrett Meister, Brian D, Jessica Cousin, Joshua Roman, Bertha Rosales, Haley Daly, Marcus Mann, my guy, my dog Croc, man. What's up, Big Croc? Christopher Lanton, Roach, what a name. Jesse Torres, Bob, HR Paper Stacks, what's good, guy? Callus 2, Larry Hill and Garrett Ledwick. It's way back. It's Wavy Baby. Boom Boom Belinda. Brian D, Demetrius Coleman. And the list goes on and on and on. I've been good. I told y'all I had some things to get straight, right? I've always tried to be transparent on the things I can be when it comes to my life, and it's what it is. There's only so much you can put out there. This is social media, and people weaponize the things you say, the things you do, things they don't know. They come up, with their own conclusions. They'll weaponize it and try to use it against you. But as far as life goes, life is good. Life is on track. Just got a paper the other day stating that I paid a crazy amount of money to the IRS. And people don't realize how easy that can happen. When you have money coming in from all these different angles, and let me make this straight. Now, let me finish that. When you have money coming from so many different angles, it's real easy to get sidetracked or to get distracted by the money, right? Not to mention, I had an accountant that I thought was on top of things. He's supposed to be doing this, doing that. The guy never did. So when the IRS came knocking, it was time to answer, right? So I just got a letter the other day, more or less a verification of a large, chunk of money they just received from me, and it gets paid monthly. So that's a big load lifted off my shoulders. Big load, because you ain't never been to war till you've been to war with the IRS. And people don't care, like they really don't care, man. But where there's a will, there's a way. You can't run from it. You take care of it, and that's what we've been doing. Okay, Savage said, man, I used to watch your videos daily. I'm glad to see you expanded. I appreciate it. Stacy in the house, a salute. Northwest 425, a big salute, man. So anybody that knows me, all right, before we get into the topic quick, that's not what we're gonna start off with. What have I been doing? Working. I make good money working. It's guaranteed. And it also allows me to spend more time with the family. When I was pumping out 3 to 5 videos a week, what y'all didn't see is behind the scenes, I'm constantly editing. Like I'm editing, or I'm doing thumbnails, or I'm answering comments. And being a YouTuber never really stops. Not if you're a good YouTuber, because you have to stay in the circle of what's going on with YouTube, right? So it took away a lot. It took away a lot from me, my kids, my wife, family, friends. So I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna step back for a minute. I need to pay more attention. And you can't pay attention, let's be real. You can't pay attention with this in your hand all day. You can't be like this all day with the phone in your hand, just thumbing, thinking that you're paying attention, because you're not. And not doing YouTube for a few months, I still watched. Not as much, but I watched, right? And I saw a lot of things. Some things I liked, some things I didn't like. Started paying more attention to people, right? Without talking to them or interacting, just watching. Learned a lot, right? You see, sometimes in life, man, we have a lot of snakes. Some of us, me personally, I know I got a lot of snakes, right? That like circle me. And you don't know they're snakes. You don't. But then something will happen in life that'll come through and like cut that grass, level the playing field. And the way your grass gets cut is when you go from one status to another, right? That's when you're gonna see who the snakes are. And that's good and bad. If you go from being broke to getting money, people you ain't never dealt with are gonna come out. If you go from getting money to being broke, the same people that wanted money from you are now talking about you, right? So the break was good. It was much needed. It was a major stress relief, big stress relief. Like I can really say I'm happy, man. I'm happier than I've been in a very long time. I get up early every single morning. I go to work, do my job. 2:30, 2:45, I'm packing up. By 3, I'm headed home. I get here, I go out back with the kids and we swim. We get in the pool. I get things done around here. You know, it's it was more or less, I guess I'd say, a journey to find who I am. Paying more attention to me and just my surroundings. We miss so much on the daily, man, that we don't see it. We don't. We get caught up in the bullshit. He said, she said, and what this person has going on. In reality, none of that shit really matters. It doesn't. It's just a distraction. Let me go ahead and get you out of here, clown. Let me put your little comment on the look. This is the type of people we deal with, right? See this? This is a grown man. Well, I ain't gonna say grown, but it's the type of people we deal with. So let's go ahead and get your dumb ass up out of here, stupid. Reading some of y'all's comments. I love the dudes that come to the internet to get that thing off, right? I've dealt with that a lot. I've dealt with that a whole lot in life. Now here's the truth of the matter, right? For the ones that knew me, like that know me in real life, that came to the internet to get that thing off, they know how to get in touch with me. They know me. They know I'm not scared to link. They know like that's not what I'm looking to do, but if that's what we got to do, I'm not gonna run from it. Absolutely. Somebody said those comments are just part of being a YouTuber. Very, very, very. Let me put you up top. That's a fact. Trey Park Porter, that's a fact. I tell anybody when you come into YouTube, if you can't take it, like if you got thin skin and what people say get up underneath your skin, this is not the place to be. It's not the place to be. Everybody's a gangster. Everybody's a killer, man. Everybody's tough. Said barely can hear the background music. Let me shut that down now. Or let me cut it down. That better? Hold on. That better? So they want to be tough until you catch them. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. What Jay-Z said, he said, people want to test you when your gun goes warm. Meaning once you're no longer out there active and you no longer like living that life, that's when they'll test you. But when you're caught up in your madness, nah, not so much. Yeah, the job is good. I'm doing what I've always done. I'm flipping houses. And I love it. It's just something about me. I love it. I like taking the old and making it new again. Working with my hands. I know a lot of trades and I like to put them to use. But with that being said, I love YouTube as well. Now, anybody that knows me knows this, right? I ain't never ran from nothing. Never had nowhere to run to. There was nobody over there, like anything I've ever had to deal with in life, I had to face. Now I've ran from the police. Let's get that right. I've ran from the police, but like situations and life and things like that. I've never been a runner, and I've never been a quitter. So let's get this. Let's get this. Go ahead and get this out the way and make this loud and clear. I've been getting non-stop comments. I think he quit. Where did Jay go? Is Jay quitting? I heard he quit. No, they would love that. They would love that. And you can't. They say the best way to defeat, and they got to be enemies, just people that go against you in general, is to be the exact opposite of what they are. I'm not a quitter, man. And this ain't no rant on, I'm not dealing with no type of nothing from anybody. But just in general, the best way to defeat people that oppose you are to be the exact opposite of what they are. I'm not a quitter. I can't quit. Not to mention, I love this. I love YouTube. I love you guys. I love everything we've built over the years. Going on 6 years doing this. 6 years. I could have climbed so high so many times. So many times. And in the beginning of doing this, it was YouTube, right? So you're going to collab with people, deal with this person, that person, and then you learn things throughout the years, right? You get better at what you do. Like any job you work, if you're putting the fries in the bag and that's your job, like you fast forward 6 months, your ass should be good at putting fries in the bag. So I've gotten good at YouTube. I got good at it. And I still have so much to talk about. There's a video coming tomorrow. I told my wife earlier, I said, I'll go ahead and mention the video, because if I mention it, then I'm obligated to drop the video. But I've got a video dropping tomorrow. Chomo fought for his stuff. He fought to get his stuff back. And I ain't supporting it. It's such a bad video. I mean, it's a good video, but it's a bad video. It's got a lot of twists and turns. I'm looking forward to dropping that. Now, see, here's the thing. I've got to come back. I've got to come back. I know that in doing YouTube, my core is always going to be there. My core base, the core people that started off watching me, I still do great numbers. Without posting, you got to think, I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos. So if you're good at what you do, it's like this. When a musician doesn't drop an album, or he's not dropping music, that doesn't mean he's not getting paid. He's still got a catalog, right? He's still got all these songs, all these other things he did for people that just come across his music to start enjoying and watching or listening to. It's the same thing with YouTube. But as we know, there's a thing called algorithm, and over time, YouTube will stop promoting you, it'll stop pushing you. So I still got to stay on top of it, right? A lot of guys that YouTube, and this is no shots, you know what I mean? It is what it is. A lot of guys that YouTube, for them, it's just money. It's a job. And YouTube is a job, regardless of what people say. Unless you've had to sit in this chair and deal with the things that come and the things that, as far as the process of just constantly being a social media figure, it's a job. It's not easy. You don't just get paid to just turn on the camera. It don't work that way. Checking some of y'all's comments real quick, man. Happy Tuesday. I worked all through the weekend. So I get up this morning. I get up 5:30ish, right? I get up this morning, do the basics. Brush teeth, rinse the face, all that stuff, get dressed. I go out, take the cans to the curb, talk to my wife later in the day. She's like, why'd you put the cans out? I lost the day. Working, I lost the day. Warren Worthington, Jay was the funniest and most diabolical trick or prank or setup you saw in lockup. I don't know if y'all know what a gunner is, right? A gunner is a guy that when nobody's looking, or some guys will go to the shower, and a lot of places have the showers are near the control booth so the officer can see what's going on and make sure nobody's doing anything they shouldn't be. So there's one place I'm at, the showers are directly in front of the control booth, like off to the side. And guys would get in that shower and there'd be a female in the booth and they would act stupid. Some guys would push the door all the way open and they're acting crazy, right? Some guys would squat down because it's like a stall door and they'd be underneath the door eyeballing at the guard. But we had one guard that everybody knew. Like if you pull that out and she sees it, you're going to hole. She's calling these people in here and they're going to come in here, snatch your ass up, drag you out the shower naked, and you're going to the hole, right? So a younger dude comes in, and this dude is a serial gunner. Everybody knows this dude just, everywhere he goes, he guns. He's been locked up, put in the hole so many, he'll be at his door, he'll go to the hole and gun. Like he's just one of those dudes. So he comes in and everybody knows him. He's a younger dude. He's just problematic. This is crazy. I watched that guy go home, and 3 days after he went home, I seen him on the news again, and he was coming back. But he comes in the pod, and dudes, I hear him saying, "Get him," right? So he goes, puts his stuff up. He comes out, and he starts mingling. Dude's a little off in the head, right? And they're telling him, "Man, shorty in the booth goes. Yeah, I'm telling you, she goes. She gonna want to see you and everything." Like, more or less telling this man that lady's a freak. That lady is top-notch security of the world, Craig. Like, not on duty, not on, your ass is going to jail. He gets all gassed up. He's looking, he's like, "Y'all sure she looks mean?" They like, "Nah, man, that's just the front. Hit the shower." Man. He goes, gets his stuff and goes to the shower, and we're standing there watching it. Everybody's laughing now. Y'all done set this man on the dummy mission. He goes up in the shower, and he's in there doing his thing, and then you see the stall door slowly like creep open, like he's pushing the door open so she can see him. So we can't see him, but we can see her. We see the door, but we can't see him inside that box, right? So we're watching her, and you see her, she's just patrolling the room, and she looks over, and she looks again, and her whole demeanor changed. I'm talking about, she's looking at him, and she's nodding at him, like, "Yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going." And I don't know what he's doing. I know what he's doing, but I don't know what his face is or nothing, right? And then she looks at him and she goes, "Your ass is out of here." Man, she had already called them people. The whole time he's doing that, she's got the little button. There's like a little button she can push. There's a microphone there, and she's talking to him, and she's telling the officers they need to come get his ass. Man, they come in there, drug this boy out the shower, butt bar naked, down the tier, down the steps, and out the pod. And you got a whole group of guys just standing there laughing. Stupid. Stupid. Your big dumb ass not on duty. Brian D said the Goon Squad. True indeed. I've seen prison's not a place you want to play though. Like if you got somebody you can joke and play with like that, that's a good friend, man, because there's not a lot of them like that. Alice Nelly said, "Here I am, supporters, never hated even after 2 years. Hey, appreciate you." You don't play. That's just a place that playing can go bad really, really fast. People, you don't never know what a man has going on at home. You don't know what type of news he gets on the phone. And let's just face it, you don't wake up. You just don't wake up on the right side of the bed every day. People don't in the real world. Now take yourself and picture that you wake up every single day in a cell, a bland colored cell. And your whole life has been broken down to enough items that you can fit into a box. That's your entire life in a box. And you cherish the things in that box. From the soups to little things you picked up along the way. That's your life every day. So there's not as much joking. I mean, you got guys that joke and play. And 9 times out of 10, when they go to play with somebody, they go say, "Hey, man, I'm not with all that playing, going somewhere. I don't feel like joking, going somewhere. I'm not the one, go on somewhere." And then they'll find somebody they can play with. But most times, nah. Frank said, hold on, back you up. Frank Salgado said, "Jay, how's Jacob Aquino?" Jacob's good. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he's good. I know he's been transferred a couple of times. He's getting his level down. He got locked up in 99 on a 36-year sentence, so he's on his 26th year. And regardless of what happens, he ain't got but a couple of years left, man. I miss him, and I look forward to him coming home. Big shout out to Dustin Bowers, man, from North Carolina. Dante said, I was born in 99. That's when I started to feel old, man. In 99, I got locked up in Philly. Spent most of that year in CFCF. I was 19. For people that don't know, Philly's jails and institutes are just a whole different world. It's a whole different world. It's a very diverse environment compared to like Richmond, Virginia. Like here, you go into the system, and I would say the system is at minimum, it's 75% black, maybe 10-12% white, and then you got Spanish guys, Asian, different things mixed in. But going to Philly, it was like you got black dudes, Irish dudes, Italian dudes, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. Like it was definitely a big change from what I'm used to. He says, JH, a great one, says, I know it's not funny, but the people that get out of jail and go back on purpose is crazy. They might as well just wait outside went outside on yard time. It happens more than you would think. I know guys that don't know how to function out here. Guys that will find out they're going home and not be excited about it. Not know where they're going. And they usually return. For life, you done with YouTube, Jay? No, I'm not done with YouTube. No. This was once just YouTube started off like most things started off. It started off as an idea. I never said I'm gonna go get on YouTube and I'm gonna get this many subscribers. I want this many people watching or this many comments. YouTube was just a place that I could go to talk and share my past and my stories and get them out. There's some things you just like, man, I just need to get this off my chest. I want to share this. And I did that. And at first, it was just my way of getting it out until the comments started coming in. And the comments really, I want to say, motivated me. Some were good, some were bad. And that's all part of the game, But it really motivated me. I remember a young black dude made a video one time, and he tagged me and Banky Pound in it. And he was talking about, and he showed this mask, and he was talking about how he was thinking about doing this and doing that, and money was tough, and he was tired of dealing with that. And then he made this video saying, this goes out to Jay and goes out to Bank. He's like, I watch y'all's videos. He's like, and I was tripping one night, man. I was tripping, and I was waiting on somebody to come get me, and I was going to go do something crazy. He's like, and while waiting, I'm watching these videos. He's like, and after about an hour or so of sitting there still waiting, I hit old boy up and said, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. Kind of like when Trey said, let me out the car. He told Doughboy, let me out the car. And just let me out the car, man. I think in listening to our stories, dude realized, like, I'm not going to be watching these videos no more. I'm going to be part of them. You just don't never know what your character's going to go through. You just don't. The game's not the same, man. It's not the same. And I'm gonna be real, man. I'm gonna be real. Like, I done got too old for this shit. And when I say too old, I mean let the youngins have it. For being locked up, let the youngins have it. And I'm not saying I want to see the youngins get locked up, but that's what prison and jail is now. It's a whole bunch of children. A whole bunch of young ass dudes that ain't never had nothing, so they don't know what they're missing. It's hard to miss something if you ain't never had nothing. Dudes are getting locked up and they ain't really have nowhere to live at. Sleeping, you know, from motels, baby mama's house, this friend's house, that friend's house. They got nothing to lose. And then they come in, and that's when a lot of people's families come back, when they get locked up. Their family returns. Now he's going to commissary 150, 175 strong every week. Penitentiary rich, got everything you could ever want if you're locked up, except for a female, except for your freedom, except for choices, except for any type of luxuries. And dudes, and I guess they use it as a bragging right when you're young, and I get it. I'm not gonna say I bragged, but when I came out, especially in my teens, when I would get out of just being locked up and hit back to the neighborhood and get back around everybody, like, you walk a little different, poke your chest out a little bit more. You can tell that people are watching you because they're like, damn, he just got out. Not no more, man. At this point in the game, it's not a badge of honor. That's a badge of dishonor. That's a big old, my name is stupid name tag. Dummy, dumb as hell. It's easy to do what's right. I come to understand that a long time ago. It is very easy to do the right thing. Doing the wrong thing comes with having to lie to cover up what you're doing. I ain't nothing good in it. We had a barbecue. YouTube Streets in the house, man. Big salute, man. Reading a couple comments before I go back into what I was gonna say. Killian Titans, and all your time in South Philly, have you ever crossed paths with Meek Mill? No, I haven't. But I did. I was at the F in '99 when Cassidy was there. And I remember everybody was like tripping out. Oh, the boy Cassidy locked up. The boy Cassidy locked up. He caught a body and blah, 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 blah. And I was asthmatic at the time. Over the years of like running and stuff in prison, the asthma went away. But I used to have to go to medical to get these asthma inhalers. And I remember seeing the dude, and I was a Cassidy fan, still am to this day, right? And I remember seeing Cassidy and thinking that I had a different image in my head of what it was going to be. Like he was going to be rapping and people were going to be around him. Nah, he wasn't. The dude had the rosary on. He had a Bible, and his nose was buried in the Bible, minding his own business. But Meek, nah, I've never seen Meek. And I didn't talk to Cassidy or anything. I just seen him in medical. Yo, hold on. I'm just scrolling the comments. No, I'm not quitting YouTube. Not quitting YouTube. They're gonna talk about this tomorrow. This video is gonna be talked about. People will talk about it. No, I'm not quitting YouTube. I'm not. I make good money at work, right? Make really good money flipping houses. But there's no point in denying it. There's no point in not talking about the elephant in the room. What I make flipping houses, I can make, I'm gonna give you a realistic number, right? Double, if not triple, with YouTube. Doing something I love, and I love doing both. I love doing both, man. But I can legitimately triple what I would make at work by doing 3 videos a month, 4 videos a month. And that's a fact. And that's such a blessing. In a world where people don't know where their next dollar is coming from, don't know how they're going to get themselves out of this hole, I know that all I've got to do is this amount of videos and this amount of money's coming. But I think I've made it clear, with that being said, that everything's not always about money. I'm not going to put a bag in front of my family. I'm not going to put a bag in front of time I can't get back. Now, if we're doing bad, yes, I'm going to do what's got to be done to make sure everything stays good. But at the end of the day, this is something we all built together, man. Some of y'all have been watching me since day one, before I had that plaque, before I became a name that pretty much anybody that's related to this genre started to know. You know how many guys I've heard say they started doing YouTube because of me? And that's kind of mind-blowing. I remember the guys I watched, right, that I guess you could say inspired me. You know, there's no point in being fake about it. There was guys I watched, you know, After Prison Show, Josh from Lockdown, 23-1. There was a bunch of channels. You know, I stay in tune with the Virginia channels. That's home team, you know. But a lot of y'all have been around since the very, very beginning. I do think that something in due time will come along and take YouTube out. I've always said that. Remember MySpace? Remember that MySpace? You like, I was gone when MySpace came out. And by the time I got out, MySpace was gone and YouTube was here. Something will eventually come along that's going to wipe YouTube out. So you gotta get it while the getting's good, you know. Who was this? Tommy's original videos. 90 State Road in Philly was built different. I remember you driving through South Philly in that big ass green truck with the rims. You were with Jimmy Brinks when he was about to get his deal. Facts. Facts. That's when he had those posters all over Philly. Who the fuck is Jimmy Brinks? I remember I'm in the barber shop, right? And these things are plastered everywhere. You go in little poppy stores, they're plastered everywhere. And they're on the side of the SEPTA buses, like these things are everywhere. Everybody's buzzing about Jimmy Brinks. Jimmy Brinks was on all these mixtapes at the time and really doing his thing. And Brian, Philly, was like, oh, we're going to go link up with Brinks. We went, got up with him, did some music with him, kicked it with him, parlayed at his place for a while. And at the time, Brian had the Excursion, big money green Excursion with the chrome roll kit on it. And at the time, the Lexani 23s, the 23s were the biggest rim out at the time. I don't even know if they make a 23 anymore. I think they just 22, 24, 26. But at the time, the 23s were the biggest rims out. And we were out there. We were hard to miss. It's hard to miss a money green Excursion with a chrome roll package on it and just big dumbass rims. But that's what we do when we're young. That stuff don't matter no more. I drive a Lac now, right? And I like Cadillacs. I've had a bunch of them, but I drive a Cadillac DTS Platinum. And prior to getting locked up this time, I was still stuck on, I mean, some of my mentality was still young. I would get a vehicle, and before I would do anything, within the first 72 hours, I would take it and put rims on. 24s, 26s or bigger. I bought the Cadillac DTS, and it's like, I'm on my grown man time. I shine without shiny rims. I ain't got to go throw rims on this. Why would I do that? For who? If I want to do it for me, that's cool, but I don't see the need. Back in the day, that's all we did. Everything was about how the car looked, how we dressed. Not walking 60 feet to the store without getting ready. It's a 2-minute walk, and we take 15 minutes to get ready. Tommy said, can't go wrong with a caddy, Jay, for sure. You shine, regardless. Facts, Anthony, you're right. You are absolutely right. He said, honestly, ruins the ride anyway. It's not as smooth, especially in the Cadillac. You're right. Because when you put them big ass rims on it, what it does is it expands your shocks. So now your shock can't really absorb what's going on because it's hyperextended. And it beats the alignment, everything about it. Ball joints, all that stuff's gonna go bad. Like you better have some money to put into suspension work because you're gonna be doing it once a year. And I've done it with a lot of vehicles, from Marquises to I had a couple different Marquises. I'm trying to think. I had a minivan one time with rims on it. I took that thing all the way across country. A minivan, a town and country with rims on it, with the Ninja blades. And then as it went, the rims for me was like, it was like a sickness. No matter how big they were, they looked small. They looked big when I first put them on. And I come out in the driveway one day and I look and I'm like, so then I upgrade. Over there, what's your favorite horror flick, Jay? I would have to go with Friday the 13th Part 3, right? Just because that's when he gets the mask. The original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Classic. Classic. Even some of the new ones they've made have been good. The one with Jessica Alba was really good. Trying to think of something else. You know a movie I really like though that I could watch over and over and over? Lost Boys. Remember Lost Boys, the vampire flick? I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies. But here's another stupid fact, right? A Jim Henson movie I love. A lot of y'all might not know about. Labyrinth. I've got Labyrinth on the laptop right now. It's still a big, there's still a kid in me somewhere. I didn't really get to be a kid. So when I get a chance, I try to be a kid. Yeah, Lost Boys is awesome. Anytime you got some Coy Haim, Coy Philbin in it, amazing. The boy Domo said, what's your favorite hood film, Jay? Also, shout out to you and the fam. Stay safe. You got your basics, right? Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society. There's a lot. There's so many now. Baby Boys, South Central. But if I had to go with my favorite hood movie, it's old school. When you might debate whether it's hood or not. Blood in, blood out. Blood in, blood out. You remember what dude said? Give me some chon chon. That movie was classic, man. Bikes, Beards, and Bellies. David Bowie was great in Labyrinth. Facts. Above the Rim, Paid in Full. Yeah, Paid in Full was awesome. New Jack City. I watched Colors the other day. Y'all remember Colors? I watched Colors the other day. Yeah, I've seen American Me. Good movie. Greg, so what up, Jay? What up, though? Garrett said, what do you think of the Ford Raptors? I really don't. I haven't really paid attention to any of their new stuff that's really out like that. I liked Menace and I like Boys in the Hood, but I think those are two hard ones to compare, right? But if I had to choose one, I'm going to go with Boys in the Hood. Oh, all the Fridays were classic. All the Fridays were classic. You can say what you want. None of them topped the first Friday, but every one of them had their place, man. What's your favorite video game? Right now I play a lot of Call of Duty. I play Fortnite with my son. Believe it or not, I'm a beast at Fortnite. I was big into Friday the 13th until they closed down their servers. Dead by Daylight. But right now it's Call of Duty. Sam Raid, one of the most gifted storytellers we have. Appreciate everything you do, man. Salute from Minneapolis, man. Thank you and salute. I enjoy telling stories. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy what I do, man. And I've still got a lot of crazy stuff to share. Stuff I kept in the clip, like I kept in the bag before things started to slow down. News stories. I got a ton of news stories, and I know it sucks. I know, yes, I'm slipping. I've got a ton of news stories that I need to share. So we had a big barbecue. 4th of July, we had a barbecue here at the house. It's kind of last moment, and it was a good turnout. It was like, I want to say, somewhere between 50 and 60 people here. The pool was packed with kids. They came through, set up the fireworks show. The fireworks show was probably 15, 20 minutes long. You got to remember now, I live on a lake, right? So we're shooting from the backyard. Well, my backyard is there's a little fire pit you buy. This ain't like not no bonfire, but like the fire pit you buy that you throw wood in. Well, I've got an area out in the back that's like gravel. It's a circle. It's got chairs, got a fire pit, roast marshmallows, sit out there and just hang out, whatever, on cool nights. Well, they were setting off the fireworks there. And man, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And just watching everybody. It's crazy once you grow up, what you look back on what you used to do and how things are now. And I was talking to a couple of my friends. They're like, remember we used to throw barbecues back in the day or any type of function? It would always get messed up. Now, most of the people that are here, I've known a very long time. So I get to see people that I grew up with, here with their kids, here having fun, not walking around drunk. Wasn't nobody drunk. People would duck off the smoke here and there, but that's about as far as it goes. We got several poker games playing. Several poker games going. People playing cornhole out back, basketball in the driveway. It was a great time, man. And it was over by 10:30, by 11 o'clock, everybody was gone. The next day I went out and the mess to clean up took 5 minutes. Grown folk stuff, man. My homeboy Ronnie was on the grill. Ronnie hooked it up. Like, I know he made like 80-some hamburgers, 80-some hot dogs, sweating his ass off. But much love to Ronnie. Thank you, Ronnie. But yeah, the barbecue was cool. It ain't nothing wrong with growing old. It's not. You know what reminds me that I'm getting old? When I see an actor or something on TV that I ain't seen in a long time, and then I see like what they look like today, that's when I realize I've gotten old. Because if he got old, I got old too. But I'm okay with that. But here's the only thing I don't like. As the older I get, I don't really start. Numbers I once thought would be a blessing to live to now seem young to me. Does that make sense? Where I work at, the guy I work with, he's got his mother-in-law, right? And I'm not going to say her name or nothing, but she's an older woman. She's got dementia. And I look at her sometimes and I can see she's not really too in tune with what's going on and who everybody is, even though she's met me 20 times. Every time she meets me, it's like the first time again. To me, that's not old enough, man. I look at her and I hear stories about her and I think like, who was she? What was life like for her? I can imagine all the stuff she's seen, all the people she's lost, the good and the bad. I look forward to growing old, man. So let me tell you this. I get woken up yesterday morning, 5. Well, I just got up. I'm sitting on the side of the bed. It's 5:35 in the morning, right? Got about a 45-minute drive ahead of me before I get to work. Got to be there at 7. I usually get there 6:30, 6:40, right? But I'm sitting on the side of the bed. I just sat up. Took my phone off, do not disturb. No sooner I sat it down, we have these Ring cameras all around the house, the Ring doorbell, little cameras here and there, you know what I mean? Just to have them and know what's going on. But my Ring camera goes off. Somebody's pushed the button. 5:35 in the morning. Who's at my door pushing the button? I pick the phone up. I click live feed. I look. It's a cop standing on my front steps. 2 cop cars in the driveway. Grab the phone. I'm looking at the cop. He's still standing there. I said, hello? He says, hey, this is such with the sheriff's office. I said, all right, who you looking for? And they say my oldest son's name, right? My oldest son is 23. And I said, what? My oldest son, he's a good dude. He doesn't do nothing he's supposed to. He ain't no criminal. He is a law-abiding citizen. Like, that boy is sharp. Ain't in nothing he shouldn't be in, right? So I said, ho. It's 5:35 in the morning. What are you looking? I said, first of all, he ain't here. He don't live here. But what's going on? All right, well, have a good day. No. Ain't no have a good day. What's going on? He says, well, we're trying to get in contact with him. His car was found in the parking lot, abandoned with the doors open. What did you just say? Do you know how scary as a parent it is to hear that your child's car was found in another county in a parking lot with all the doors open and he's nowhere around? So my heart drops. Whoa. Where'd you find his car at? Well, I'm not sure. They just called from that county over here, told us to come here and check, see if he's here. Hold back. Whoa. My son's car was found with his doors open. Yeah, we don't know all the details. How do you show up to somebody's house and say something like that and you don't know all the details? Like, my wife is sitting beside me. She's like, oh, wait, was in the apartments? Where was the car found at? Like, I said, who do I contact that's at the scene or that can tell me what's going on? And he says, well, I guess you would call here and you would tell them to dispatch you through to the officer that's with such and such's car, right? I said, all right, let me try to get in touch with my son. At this point, I'm freaking out. Now, put yourself in my shoes. It's 5:35 in the morning. There's cops outside, and you're talking to them, and they're telling you that your child's car was found abandoned in the parking lot. Doors open. He's nowhere around. And this is a good kid. He's a good dude. He ain't nobody that's going to be all messed up, staggering around. He ain't about to let nobody just take his car and leave it in the parking lot. No, that's not him. He goes to work, goes home. So I get on the phone. And my heart is beating out my chest, right? I'm scared. I'm petrified, terrified. All these scenarios going through my head. Who's got my son? Who has my son? Who had his car? Where's his car abandoned at? Is it at a food line? Is it at a Wawa? Is it in the projects? Is it on the side of the interstate? They couldn't give me no answer. So I start calling him. I'm blowing his phone up. And he's not answering. So now I'm really freaking out, right? Because I'm blowing his phone up back to back, but it's not going to voicemail. So that gives me some type of good hope, right? And I'm starting to freak out. Like, my child is missing. His car's been found abandoned with the doors open. He answered the phone. Hello? I said, oh, what's up, Dad? I said, where are you at, man? I'm at home. You mean you're at home, man? I got cops outside my house. They're saying you're missing. Your car doors are open. And what? I said, man, the cops are here. I said, look out. I said, where's your car? He's like, it's outside in the apartment complex. I said, look out your window. He looks out his window and goes, why are the cops outside? I said, are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. Why are the cops here? I said, they said your car was abandoned with the doors open. You was nowhere around. He said, nah. He said that I had my arms full when I came in last night and I thought I shut my door with my elbow, but I guess maybe it didn't close all the way. His driver door was open right outside his apartment. And that's the message that should have been given to me. But instead I got my child's car has been abandoned. He can't be found and all the doors are open. So I'm like, you all right? Yeah, I'm okay, Dad. Let me go see what's going on with these cops. I can't take it. I can't take it, man. My hat goes off to anybody that's ever lost a child. I can't take it. I don't know if I'm that strong, man. I don't know if I'm built like that. I don't. Yes, they made it seem like it was left abandoned somewhere. And it was literally right outside his apartment. Let me see what else is going on. I've had a lot of stuff happen within my family, right? And there's stuff I will talk about, and there's stuff I'm not gonna talk about. I'm just not. But I had an aunt last year, man. One of my favorite aunts growing up. And there's just, like I said, there's a lot I don't tell on here, right? A lot of stuff I don't share, but I think I can share it at this point. And to anybody in my family that's watching, y'all ain't got to run and, open a wound when it comes to her, or mention the video to her, because that's not what this is about. This is just me sharing life, family, and things going on. But I'd rather just let her deal with what she's dealing with, right? But I got this aunt that lives in North Carolina. I'm not sure. I think she's still in Charlotte. Or at the time, when we grew up, I grew up in Charlotte, between Charlotte, Henderson, East Lincoln. That's where I was at, right? But I got this aunt, and she always wanted to have kids. She just couldn't get pregnant. She couldn't get pregnant. But she was with this one man for a very, very, very long time. And then later on in life, the unthinkable happens. She gets pregnant. Like, she's older and she gets pregnant. So she's with a new man now. So I guess old boy was just, it wasn't working for him. He was shooting, blanks, like wasn't nothing happening. So they end up separating. She gets a new man and everything's good from there, right? She has a child. This is her first and only child that she would ever have. So needless to say, for a woman that's never had kids, that's always dreamed of having kids, that gets up in age, that one day becomes pregnant and has a child, it's a big deal to her. She loves this child like, I wouldn't say like any parent loves their child, but I think with her it was a little different because she wanted a child so bad, never thought she would, and then had one later on in life. Well, she gets with this other guy. Now she's older. Her son is now in his late 20s. And she gets with this other guy, and he's in his 70s. And she's up there in age too, right? He drinks, gets a little dumb at times, but ain't never been no problem, no criminal record, no nothing like that. Goes out and spends some unnecessary money on some guns. And she comes in, and an argument ensues over him buying guns, spending money on guns. Well, I guess he gets a little too aggressive, and the son steps in. This ain't his son, this is his stepson. This is my aunt's son and her husband. So he steps in. That's his mom. He's stepping in to, make sure everything's good. And one thing led to another. He picked the gun up. And pow. Hit her son a couple different times and laid him down. DOA. Right there on the spot. She tried to flee towards the door, and she caught one to the head. She would go to the hospital, not knowing what was going on, not grasping anything, because she was in a coma at this point. She just took a bullet to the head. And then she had to wake up to find out that life as she knew it would never be the same. That child's gone. And she'll forever be affected because she took a bullet to the head. Her life will never be the same. And you got this older man who's in his late 70s. He never been in no trouble in his life. That's now charged with a homicide and attempted homicide. And will never see the streets again. She made pretty good recovery from what I'm told, right? Physically. But mentally, I don't think you ever recover from anything like that. I don't know that I would want to. I think if something like that was to happen, man, I'd rather just not wake back up. Because you're not waking up to anything good. You went into a coma in the midst of a nightmare taking place only to wake up to the real nightmare. And that's just one of a whole bunch of different situations or things that are taking place. There's so many, it'd be hard to mention. Just life is crazy. Crazy indeed, Reading y'all's comments. Y'all take a second, hit the like button real quick. Run them likes up. Run them likes up. Hang out for a second while y'all do that. Y'all done? It's free. It's free. So like I was saying, new video dropping tomorrow. Not quitting YouTube. Not going nowhere. It's actually time to turn back up. Man. I make excuses sometimes. I'm tired. I just got off work. 45-minute drive home. That's life, man. There's always going to be something going on when you're trying to do something, right or wrong. If you want it to happen, it'll happen. I've said that from day one. Don't make no excuses. Make it happen. So it's time I make it happen. Got a bunch of cool shorts I want to upload. Tomorrow's video I'm really excited about. I'm super excited about it just because I played the whole thing over in my head. And sometimes I talk to myself, right? I don't answer myself, but I talk to myself. And I'll just be driving, and it's almost like I hear myself doing the video in my head. And it's a crazy video. You know, I learned something about this jail when I got in there. Now, this ain't no jail. Like, I've been in regional jails, but the regional jails I've always been in were really, really tough. This jail houses dudes from the country, boys from out in the sticks. It's a very diverse environment, which I'm not used to. I'm used to being one of the only white dudes usually in the pod, right? But it's pretty mixed up in there. And I noticed a common theme. Somebody would show up in the pod, dudes would get to whispering, and his ass would be gone. They had an entire pod full of sex offenders. And I'm thinking, man, what is y'all doing out in the country? Y'all making the country look bad. You boys are bored. Y'all need to get a strip mall or something out here with some women, because why is there so many offenders like that? So many SOs out here. And then when they would get caught or would get found out, there's a lot of different options. This ain't Cali. This ain't no movie, man. This is reality. There's a lot of different options on what's going to possibly happen. You got some dudes that just don't play that and don't care what your story is. They don't care what the situation is. They hear about it and it's smash on sight. They're just they don't care. Then you got other dudes that look at them type of dudes as something to extort, right? They use as a reason to rob them and extort them. Sometimes I guess you could say it's morally correct. Maybe the guy doing it, you know, feels some type of way about what you did. But for a lot of times, what I've seen is it just gives guys an excuse to do it. These dudes don't give a shit what you did out in the real world, but they know that because you got that attached to your name, they can do whatever they want to you and nobody's going to say nothing. And if somebody does say something, then it makes it seem like he's vouching for the mo. So, yeah, it's a crazy story, man. Crazy indeed. From the fact that I had no clue. But then it came out, and then this came out, and this came out. Things came out so fast. And old boy became food. But he wasn't soft. I'm not giving him no ups. I'm not giving him no type of prop. You mess with a woman against her will, anybody against their will, a child, like, you get no respect. I don't care if you beat 15 people, like, you still get no respect ever. But it's a great story, man. Y'all gonna love it. Dustin Bauer said, I wish I could tell you my story, blow your mind. I want nothing from it but to be told to get it off my chest. That actually helps me. You can reach me on Instagram, JLet'sLiveLife, email jlet'slivelife@gmail.com, TikTok at JLet'sLiveLife. Hit me up. But that's my hour, man. That's my hour. I love to stay longer, but I have to get up. I still got to hit the shower, spend a little bit of time with the kids, and just live my life, man. Make sure you check for tomorrow's video. Y'all make sure that y'all leave a like on this video, and don't ever doubt me. I'm human. Please understand this when I say this. I am human. Sometimes you just got to do life. I've been busy doing life. Been busy getting right. I have no type of One of the biggest things I wanted to do this year was get the anger out of my heart, huh? Get it off my chest, like just do away with it. And I've done that. There's nobody I dislike, nobody I have a problem with, and I don't care if anybody has one with me. That's your problem, not mine. But look, I'm gone, man. But anyways, these streets, these jails, these prisons, they're all just crazier worlds inside of an already crazy world we live in. And as always, y'all know what I'm doing. Just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? And like always, this is Jay Williams. Let's live life. To all my real ones, you know, there's some real ones watching. Y'all still watching me. And y'all know how we do. Salute. Happy Tuesday, man. All y'all have a great night. Do what you're gonna do.